This is Brother Chooch for Outside the Bunker. This is a program that talks about world events and things related to prophecy, but it's a program that gets to the point. It doesn't pull punches. It means what it says what it means. It doesn't speak in circles. It doesn't mince words. Time is of the essence. Redeem the time, for the days are evil. We only have 20 minutes. And that's why we have to really move forward. I want you to know that there is stuff going on. If you haven't seen it, all you got to do is look at the world news. First, look at the Bible, and then look at the world news. Because what you see in the world news is following the script of the Bible. This is absolutely no surprise to God. But the world doesn't even realize that they are going in lockstep of what prophecy has spoken of for centuries. And we see this is like a pressure cooker that has been heating up and starting to shake. Steam cannot get out of the valve quick enough, and it's about to explode. I mean, the lid is going to go flying. There's going to be food all over the place. For all we know, there might be scrap metal. But we know that this is coming to a head. It has to. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. So here's some news items here, I think, that are really lining up to make this year, 2025, seemingly a pivotal year in Bible prophecy. And it's lining up. Emmanuel Macron issues a joint statement from France, the United Kingdom, and Canada demanding immediate Palestinian two-state solution in Gaza. Okay? This is not a gentle suggestion. This is a demand. We strongly oppose the expansion of Israel's military operations in Gaza. The level of human suffering in Gaza is intolerable. Yesterday's announcement that Israel will allow a basic quantity of food into Gaza is wholly inadequate. We call on the Israeli government to stop its military operations in Gaza and immediately allow humanitarian aid to enter Gaza. This must include engaging with the UN, which, by the way, the UN, I do not believe are fans of Israel, to ensure a return to delivery of aid in line with the humanitarian principles. We call on Hamas to release. Isn't it amazing they address Israel before they address Hamas? We call on Hamas to release immediately the remaining hostages they have so cruelly held since October 7th, 2023. I'm going to skip down a bit. We strongly support the efforts led by the United States, Qatar, and Egypt to secure an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. It is a ceasefire, the release of all remaining hostages, and a long-term political solution that offer the best hope of ending the agony of the hostages and their families, alleviating the suffering of civilians in Gaza, ending Hamas control of Gaza, and achieving a pathway, listen to this, to a two-state solution, consistent with the goals of June 18th conference in New York, co-chaired by Saudi Arabia and France. These negotiations need to succeed, and we must all work towards the implementation of the two-state solution. Listen to this, guys. If you're privy with Bible prophecy, this should ring a bell, which is only to bring long-lasting peace and security. You see that? Those are married to each other right now. The proponents of the two-state solution usually will pair that up. They think that the implementation of the two-state solution, which is the only way, according to man, to bring long-lasting peace and security to both Israelis and Palestinians. Doesn't the Bible say that when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come and they shall not escape? Do you see what's getting set up here? So let me keep in mind what I just said here, okay? Then you have Trump had a 60-day deadline for Iran to reach a nuclear deal with the United States. That comes to an end on June 11th. That's next week, folks. But listen to this. This is from the BBC. Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has criticized the U.S. proposal for a new nuclear agreement, insisting it will not stop enriching uranium. Iranian negotiators are set to respond in the coming days to the plan presented at talks last Saturday. It would reportedly see Iran halt production of enriched uranium, which can be used to make reactor fuel, but also nuclear weapons, and instead rely on a regional consortium for supplies. In a speech on the anniversary of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini's death, Khamenei said that he was 100% against the idea of "we can," a famous slogan of the Islamic Republic's founder. Later, U.S. President said Iran was slow-walking its decision on a deal. President Vladimir Putin said the fact that time is running out on Iran's decision pertaining to nuclear weapons, which must be made quickly. Trump has warned the Iranian leaders that it could face U.S. and Israeli military action if the negotiations are not successful. And he is said to have given them a 2-month deadline, which is the 60 days, a letter he sent back in early March. He also insisted that Iran would have to halt all uranium enrichment under any deal. So Trump is saying you cannot enrich uranium for nuclear fuel because Iran cannot be trusted. Because they'll say, yeah. Well, they've been saying, oh, we're enriching the uraniums for nuclear fuel, but we don't not want nuclear weapons. Hogwash. Poppycock. You believe that? If you believe that, I'll sell you swampland in southern Florida for a good price. Folks, don't trust Iran. Listen, he is in a situation here where the Khomeini, or however you say his name, this is what he thinks about all this. Uranium enrichment is the key of our nuclear program, and the enemies have focused on this enrichment. The rude and arrogant leaders of America repeatedly demand that we should not have a nuclear program. Who are you to decide whether Iran should have enrichment? That's a good point. Iran chief negotiator, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, spoke on X. Iran has paid dearly for these capabilities, and there is no scenario in which we will give up on the patriots who made our dreams come true. Wow, he's calling the people in Iran who were part of getting this program done, patriots, do you think they're really going to give up on enriching uranium? To reiterate, no enrichment, no deal. This is Iran. To reiterate, no enrichment, no deal. No nuclear weapons, we have a deal. Which, again, I think President Trump realizes that they cannot be trusted. So, when you look at what's going on here, folks, the three things I mentioned, you have the situation in Gaza, where Israel has been going full tilt, basically in trying to eliminate Hamas. France, the United Kingdom, and Canada are all pushing very strongly for this meeting in June, rather demanding that a two-state solution is the only way that there's going to be long-lasting peace and security. So the hypothesis here is that with what's going on in Hamas, it's going to put pressure on the international community to try to force Israel's hand to agree to a two-state solution. As a result, I think that this is going to be the final straw that the Lord will tolerate, and the end times are going to, Daniel 70th week will then proceed forward. Additionally, I believe that Iran is not going to agree to having absolutely no enrichment. If Donald Trump turns his back on Netanyahu and says, okay, just agree not to have nuclear weapons, but you could continue to enrich uranium, I think that that's going to spell a big problem already in a fractured relationship between the United States and Israel. Israel made it very clear that they will do what they need to do to protect their sovereignty, that they will attack Iran's nuclear facilities. If that happens, that is going to create an absolute mess of war and bloodshed and fighting and possibly even an economic breakdown that's worldwide. We could have a really, really, really big mess on our hands if these two things happen. The two-state solution and Israel attacking Iran's nuclear facility. I'm talking to the point where it is the catalyst that you get the rapture, you get the tribulation period, you possibly could get Isaiah 17 fulfilled, Psalms 83, Jeremiah 49, and soon Ezekiel 38, 39. It's like could possibly be dominoes. Possibly be dominoes. Having said all that, there is a possibility that somehow a deal gets made and Israel takes care of business with Hamas and doesn't agree to a two-state solution, and we continue going forward. I do not know. I am presenting to you a possible hypothesis of events that may occur a certain way, and they may not occur a certain way. My hypothesis is based on all that we've seen, in the sun and the moon and the stars, all we've seen with certain timelines, and what we see going on geopolitically, everything converging, all during this time, I see 2025 and 2026 in neon red glowing lights and sirens going off. But that's my opinion. To the point, and I don't say this lightly, to the point I'm trying to go to the Lord because I am ready to shut the channel down in 2027. If 2025 and 2026 pass, TOLN Times is shutting down, probably in early or mid 2027. So why? Because I cannot, in good consciousness, keep going forward like this. So the seriousness of the moment is really, really critical. And if I'm kicking stones in 2027, I'm going to say I'm either delusional or I've lost my mind or both. But I should not be making videos. I should no longer be making videos because everything I see here, if all of this stuff, the Revelation 12 sign and the Great American Solar Eclipse and peace and safety and the potential for a peace agreement and Abraham Accords and what Donald Trump, if all this is not coming to a head in 2025 or 2026, you need me and I need myself to shut down or redefine the channel, how to cook rice, how to crochet a rug, how to change a tire, how to flip a pancake. But it can't be Bible prophecy anymore. Okay? So the seriousness of the moment is real. Seriousness of the moment is real. 2025, possibly 2026, to be quite honest with you, 2025 to me looks better than 2026, but I don't know. But for the integrity of the channel, I need to just be honest with you. This is got to be go time, or I am unfit to be watching. 2025, maybe 2026, or I am not fit for to use any more of your time or to challenge your intelligence. So this is it, guys. I see it all lining up, and if it goes poof, then it all settles down to become nothing, then we have to be honest with ourselves. And I encourage us to keep watching for that day and looking. But to me, I can't see how much more convergence can you get. How much more convergence can you get before it becomes a divergence? So I'm calling it like I see it. And if you do this watchman stuff, all right, which I don't even know if you call me a watchman or what, but if you do this stuff, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with your subs and the people watching and say, this is either this is the real McCoy or I don't know who McCoy is. So I'm speaking with all sincerity, and I don't want to do any injustice to anybody for the sake of, oh, well, you got so many subs or you've been doing this so long. I'm ready to tap out. This is no joke. This is serious. It's either time or not. And because I think it's time, then if it doesn't happen, then you move on. It's just that simple. And you say, I looked at it wrong. I interpreted it wrong. But I am expecting to hear the trumpet blast very, very soon. And if not, come visit me. If the asylum accepts visitors, come visit me. We'll talk about it. Come join me in the padded room. But I have a feeling we'll be discussing this in heaven. Folks, we're at the 20-minute mark. Thanks for tuning in. Keep your eyes peeled. look up. Hallelujah. Maranatha. I'll see